Hidden heroes, that's what we're talking about. They could be a family member, a friend, or even an acquaintance. Regardless, they all serve one purpose: to care for our disabled service members. Since 9/11, more than 1 million of these unpaid caregivers provide $3 billion in services each year. The problem, they are facing more challenges than ever before. Here to weigh in is the CEO of Concerned Veterans for America and Fox News contributor, Pete Hegseth. Good morning, Captain. This is, when you see these numbers, 1.1 million caregivers since 9/11, $3 billion worth of services that they are providing here. Is this something that is more stressful now than post-wars prior to?
I don't know if it's more stressful now. There are new complications today. Families of every generation, World War II, Korea, Vietnam wars before that, have dealt with and helped support soldiers and Marines and others that come home. This is always something, a burden that families have carried. However, these battlefields have allowed for service members because of the advances in technology, in body armor, in care given on the battlefield, you're having more folks surviving injuries that they otherwise wouldn't have survived in previous generations. So you've got wounds, seen and unseen, that are new to the home front in a sense, and yet you've got a caregiving and a support network that's pretty much the way it's been, with some new variables. You've got younger families, younger marriages, maybe aging parents caring for their kids. More of them have full-time jobs, so there are new complications for caregivers that I think we need to recognize as we identify how to better support them.
Sure, in a more complex world, indeed. I'm glad, and I know so many are, that you mentioned the invisible wounds as well. Look at some of these numbers, though, with me, and then I'd love your reaction. 12% caregivers spend on their income. 40-plus hours a week they spend providing care. That means they miss 3.5 days of work per month. Okay, so when you take about the loss from the employer standpoint, employers there in terms of productivity, $5.9 billion. That's almost $6 billion a year that's being lost there. And the risk for depression of those that are caregivers in general is high. For those right now in this situation, it's 4 times higher. 40% of these caregivers don't have health coverage themselves. And as I mentioned before, many are veterans as well.
Yeah, no, you're right. We think the word caregiver and you think of a professional. No, what you were thinking of here is a mom, a dad, a spouse, an uncle, a friend, somebody who is within the network and who provides additional care. Their one job is not care. They've got another job. They've got other responsibilities. Maybe they don't have a big support network, and so they're taking money out of their own pocket. They're taking leave days from their job, which means less income. There's a lot of financial and just emotional stress that comes here. And there's not, the big thing is not a big support network, which is why respite care would be a big solution here too.
So before we go, Pete, I'd love to know, because I think it's a blessing that so many private citizens are stepping up and doing what needs to be done. But what needs to be done on a broader page here, from government, legislation? What can we do?
Sure. I'll tell you, as a leader of a veterans organization, I learned this lesson right out front. We talk about veterans all the time, and we don't often talk about military families. Military families need to be fully included and fully incorporated just as they are into our organization, because they serve right alongside the members. So an awareness piece is a big part of it. You got to train them for the skills, so they've got the skills to do what they need to do, and then some level of respite care. More organizations that identify, hey, just a break, an hour, 2, 3 hours a week, can be a big boost to someone whose life is dedicated to serving someone, helping someone who, as he said, has wounds seen or unseen. So there's some basic things that can be done. Absolutely.
Pete Hegseth, Concerned Veterans for America and Fox News contributor, we thank you for being with us. Lots of work to do there, but glad we have your eyes pointing ours in the right direction.
Thank you.